Hi guys, this is Sherry at redeemingvitality.com, and we are going to talk a little more about sun lotion. So we're talking about the lotion now. We talked about barriers. We talked about, yesterday we talked about foods, antioxidant foods, and today we're going to talk about the lotions that you can put on as, before you go out into the sun. On my blog, so if you haven't signed up for my blog, go to my blog, and I am going to be posting a blog post on this with all the information all together, so that you don't have to go running over all over the place to try to find it. And then if you want to join my group on Patreon, it's another place where we can dive deeper into this stuff. And that's going to have the scientific papers and research that went along with it. Something loud's going on there. All right, guys, I want to tell you about something. So I'm gonna read you a list of things: type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammation, macular degeneration, Alzheimer's, pneumonia, colds, flu, cell mutation, which of course all kinds of cancers, autoimmunity across the board. What do all these things have in common? Vitamin D. Out of like the 30,000 genes we have, 3,000 of them need vitamin D. Vitamin D, we always thought, was a fat-soluble vitamin. It does dissolve in fat, but it's more of a cholesterol. And this is not a bad cholesterol. This is a crucial cholesterol, and most of us, it's like the highest. I mean, if you're going to consider it a vitamin, it's like the highest deficiency that we have in America. And why? Well, mostly because our lifestyle has changed. We're not eating fish. Livers are pretty much the only place you can get a significant amount of vitamin D. But traditionally, we didn't use liver. I mean, although we ate liver, it was from our skin, from the sun is where we got most of our vitamin D. And we worked outside, and we got lots of vitamin D because we were outside all the time, right? Running around. And those people running around in the savannah, half clothed, they're getting a ton of vitamin D. I mean, off the charts vitamin D. And you know what? They're really healthy. So vitamin D is super duper uber important. We are, for the most part, deficient. If you do live in a sunny place, we don't always have sun here. If we have sun, then we really only have like 2 hours of UVB radiation, and that is a radiation. All the light spectrum does not create vitamin D, only UVB. So you got to get UVB. It has something to do with the angle of the sun, and most of the UVB, if it's not higher, will bounce off the ozone layer, and you won't get it. So the northern, you can see the autoimmunity. They kind of plot it on a graph, and as over top of a map. And basically, the ones that are in the northern hemisphere, higher away from the sun, are the ones that are getting a lot of the autoimmune disease and disorders. So we need vitamin D. Now, in order to absorb vitamin D as a supplement, you also need K2, and that's also something that is not easily gotten in regular food. So we're really talking about fish, butter, grass-fed butter. You can get some vitamin K2 really well there. So it's not like you can get, it's not a plant form of K2. You need some, you need some plant, you need some animal vitamin too. Hi, Amanda. It's good to see you here. So, you need vitamin D. It's super uber duper important. You need to look. There's a NASA website that link is in my book to find out when your UVB rays are available in your area. So to give someone like across the board, this is how much vitamin D you need, that's kind of crazy because it all depends on so many factors. One is, do you go outside? That's important. Two is, how high latitude, what latitude are you at? And do you get UVB radiation when you can lay out? Number three is, do you have cloud cover? Because that blocks a lot of UVB. Number four is your skin tone. If you have a darker skin tone, it's going to be harder for the vitamin D to get in. You have to stay outside longer. Of course, you're well protected, a lot better than we are, unfortunately. and so there's all these factors. So many people have desk jobs and they're inside during the UVB spectrum time. And so vitamin D is super duper low. It's because we don't get a lot of it from foods. People are not eating a lot of fish liver or a lot of liver in general. So there are some mushrooms that have some significant portion of vitamin D. They actually have to stay in the sun too in order to get that. And since mushrooms are grown in the dark, you have to know that they have been put in the sun so that they can get. So why am I talking about vitamin D when I'm supposed to be talking about sunscreen? Most of the chemical sunscreens block UVB radiation, but they're not blocking UVA radiation, which also gets down and starts damaging your skin. And so that may or may not be, of course, vitamin D is higher levels of vitamin D. You want about 75 nanograms per milliliter of vitamin D. They're often, and that's the optimal range. That's not the low, okay, you have enough kind of range. If you get 75 to 100, they're actually thinking that has a lot of benefit as far as autoimmune diseases and cancers. But, you're not even getting, you're getting very close, not really, to what people get if they were running around in the sun all the time near the equator with half dressed. and so it's a safer nutrient to get than any of the other oils or any of the other fat soluble vitamins. It has a half-life of about a month. So getting it early in your childhood, that was good for you then, but it's not going to keep in your system later. Okay, so it's going to diminish really quickly. You need to be getting out in the sun like this, but not with a window here, because that blocks it blocks UVB. It's actually quite difficult. Like if you're washing your skin right after you've been outside, you are washing off. The stuff has to sit there for a while, like 48 hours a while, so that it can get your vitamin D up. So much to know, so much we didn't know because of our modern lifestyle. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just we didn't know what we were doing back then. So now that we've changed things, we have to go back and find out what was really important to do back then. So there are many oils, and we'll talk about oils tomorrow. But I made some lotion, and this has zinc oxide. It's the non-nano zinc oxide. And I know that because when I put it on, it's not clear. But the non-nano zinc oxide blocks both UV B and UVA, and that is good because you want it blocks a broad spectrum of stuff. And it's not everything, but it blocks a lot of it, and it blocks it in a natural form kind of way. Like, so if you're blocking only one radiation, light spectrum, then how about the other ones? They're out of sync. They're out of their natural form. And so that can be dangerous. We don't know how, because a lot of the stuff is coming out still. You might be the guinea pig. No one wants you to be the guinea pig. So here you go. Here's the stuff, and you know it's not non-nano because it's going to sit there and it's going to be white like that. And I could put it on my nose just like that. I could be, you know, a lifeguard. Now, here you go. Keep rubbing, because eventually it'll go in. And that's why I like mine a little thinner than other people have them on the website. It has the same amount of zinc oxide, but I put some oils that aren't hard in, I put less beeswax in it because it goes in a lot faster, a lot easier than if you're trying to fight the beeswax and the oils at the same time. So this stuff, I've used this recipe for several summers on the kids, only when we're going to be outside a long time. You know, we're going to Disney World, or we haven't done that for a long time, but Disneyland. We say we're going to a water park. That would be when I would apply this oil. If we're just out in the town and walking around, I don't know how much I would apply this oil. I would rely more on antioxidants, and I'll be giving them those a couple weeks before we go on our trip as well, so that when they're out in a normal situation, they're not worried about it. I'm also going to work on a face serum for my face, and you can use this on your face. It's not going to be bad, but you know, I kind of like something a little bit lighter, like maybe pomegranate oil, seed oil. It's an SPF of 20. Another factor is, so I don't know what the SPF of this is. It's about 20 probably. It is water resistant because I just put a bunch of oils in it. So and you can see when the water goes on, it'll be little beads and droplets. So you can know that it's water resistant if there's little beads and droplets on top. But we will, if we were at the ocean all day, I think I would probably definitely reapply it. I might look to see if it's still being water resistant. If their skin is starting to suck the stuff up, I'd probably reapply it in the places where it seems like it's going to be more exposed. And maybe they're getting a little red. All right, let's apply it again because it is a block. It doesn't block everything, so that's why you can't call it sunblock anymore. But in general, it blocks all of the natural spectrum at the same time. So it's like putting a t-shirt on or something like that. The white t-shirts don't block everything either, but it blocks some, right? So this is part of my series. I'm going to collect all of this information and I'm putting it in a blog post so that it's easy to access, and it's all written down for you, and there'll be recipes and there'll be videos, right? It's because that helps people to make the stuff, right? On the website. So if you join my newsletter or my email list, you'll get that sent out right away. Also, if you're interested in diving deeper into this kind of thing, and you're particularly interested in dosing and how to correct, say, sun damage, like say you got sun, you got too much sun, and what should I do about it? I wonder if I still have this on my nose. There's some things to do about it. So anyway, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you might want to join my Patreon account. So it's the Redeeming Vitality and Patreon. There is a link on my website I will be diving a little more deeper with those who want to dive deeper into that. Not everyone wants to dive deeper. So that's why I have these 3 levels, and you get to choose where you fall. Anyway, I love doing this, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.